Hello guys and welcome to BST Weekly EPL edition episode 3. I'm Tim Blacker and this is Joey Kane. And Joey, just before we get started today, please let the guys know what happened to episode 2 from last week.
Well, look, we're a very new show. This is episode 3 as Tim just said, and it seems that we've already caught the attention of the big boys. We had a copyright claim put in by the FA, who, for those of you out there who don't know, are the controlling body for the English Premier League. And yeah, we've had a copyright claim put in, so we could either choose to fight it all the way to the Supreme Court, or let the video be taken down and cop a strike for it. So we've let it be taken down to the detriment of you guys, our fans. But look, in the future we're gonna fight it. We're not gonna stop. We're here for the long run. We just got to be careful about how we use certain bits of footage and that type of thing. But we're going to endeavour to show you as much as we can and continue on with our. Well, you guys have voted with your feet. Really, we've got a lot of views and that sort of thing, and a lot of Facebook fans now.
Which has been fantastic, and we say thank you. Which
leads me to say to get in touch with us and to get involved at BST Weekly on Twitter. And Tim, the email?
The email is bstweekly@gmail.com. And then finally, guys, this week we've actually got a Facebook page up and running, which is facebook.com/bstweekly, all one word. So with that, with the plugs, Joey, it's been another good week in the Premier League.
It's been a good week. Better for some teams than others, though.
Yeah, which is always going to be the case. But let's kick straight into it, Joey. We're going to start today with the deals and rumours that are flying around, and I've done a bit of research and picked out a few good ones that I think. Would you like to start with the deals or the rumours first?
Get into the hard facts of the deals, and then the rumours we can speculate on a little bit later, I think.
Okay, I like your thinking. Now, the first, not many deals actually went down this week. Only 2 of real note, Joey, and we've picked them out. The first one. Sorry, a third one has come in overnight. How about that?
As we speak.
Yeah, it's caught me unawares. But the first one, last week we spoke about Loic Remy.
Loic Remy, yes.
From Marseille. And we said that he was going to Newcastle.
Well, it was done. It was a rumour at the time, but I think we went into detail about how it was bound to happen and 100% lock it in type of thing.
Yeah, well, exactly. Well, Joey, I've got some news for you that it did not happen. And Newcastle have actually had their bid hijacked by QPR, of all people. And it's believed to be a £9 million deal. And he has signed for QPR and already made his debut and scored. What do you think about that? Was his head turned by more money from QPR? And is it the right choice?
Look, I mean, you'd almost say, look, QPR are in a position where they need to win now. And don't worry about long term. It really isn't a consideration for them at the moment. It shouldn't be. No, it should be. But they need to stay up, basically. So, every move they make has to have immediate impact at this point in time.
Yep.
And it has. He scored on debut. So, I mean, so far it looks like a brilliant signing. But from the QPR perspective, but from Loic Remy's perspective, I think Newcastle's a bigger, more established club, and I think the only reason I could see him going to QPR was to make himself a bit of a name in England by saving QPR from relegation.
Yeah, well, as I said, he scored on debut for QPR over the weekend, which, look, it's great for him, and it makes his move look great, doesn't it? Because they picked up a point, whereas Newcastle didn't, and, they're really not that far apart anymore in terms of points. So that's just that one, though. I mean, it just continues Newcastle's bad run at the minute. But as we predicted on this show in episode 1, Joey, QPR, they're starting to make their move under Harry. So we just watch with interest. Another one, the one that went through overnight was Cisse, actually, from QPR, has been loaned out overnight from the arrival of Remy. So he's gone to now let me get this right, Al Gharafa in Qatar. Joey, your thoughts?
a great move and one of the great leagues in the world, and really where the people want to watch football.
Oh yes, well.
Nah, look,
I really disagree.
I'm not sure that anyone going out to the and this is no offense at all meant by this, but there are leagues in the world that are better than others, and the Middle Eastern leagues have a bit of money, but not a lot of talent there.
Well, when a player goes there, the first thing you think of is money.
Well,
that's just for mine.
Absolutely.
But I mean, he's only on loan there till the end of the season, but really I wouldn't be surprised to see that become permanent in the summer.
I have no doubt that this loan move is a precursor to him finishing his career on a big pay packet, doing not much.
Yep, exactly. We move on now, Joey. Southampton have been active in the market. They've strengthened their defence, which is obviously a key priority for them. But they've signed Vegard Forén from Molde.
Yes.
I think that's how you pronounce it, in the Norwegian League. A few facts. He's been capped 5 times by Norway. As I said, big centre-back. I think it's a good solidifying move for them. And he was named Norwegian Player of the Year last week in the Topaugen. Yes.
I don't know how you pronounce it.
Yeah. We'll get there. But as I said, named Norwegian Player of the Year for the league. And it seems a good move on the outside.
Yeah, apparently he was set for a medical at Liverpool, and before he got there, he was sold to Southampton. So
did Liverpool invite him over in the first place, or did Southampton?
Well, I thought Liverpool invited him over to train and have a medical, and Southampton got wind of it and bought him without even bothering to do that, which is, his stats you read out there are pretty hard to argue with, but I haven't seen a lot of him, so
Yeah, well, I mean, being Australian-based, a lot of, I'm going to say no Norwegian content makes our screens, so look, it is tough for us when these mystery men come in, but look, I mean, as I said, Player of the Year and stuff, he must be a decent player, so look, it's good for them. And just the last one, Joey, not a deal as in brought to the club, but a big move for Arsenal. After a few years now of losing all their top players, they've finally managed to keep one. Theo Walcott has signed a 3.5-year deal worth £100,000 a week, and he's also got a $3 million loyalty bonus in that as well. And for mine, he's been fantastic this year. Your opinion?
How many pounds a week did you say he was?
100,000.
Yeah.
Which goes against their pay structure.
Yeah.
Against Arsenal, because we know they don't like to splash out. But
yeah, exactly. This is probably controversial, but I think Theo Walcott is lazy, and I think he is comfortable at Arsenal and doesn't want to test himself. I think he's set. He knows he's comfortable with his surrounding. He knows his spot in the team is pretty much guaranteed. He's on a big pay packet, and what I like to see from guys is guys trying to challenge themselves and get better, and progress in their career, and really progress in their career. And I think this is, if not stalling, it's riding off the next few years. And from Arsenal's perspective, he's been great for them, and I'm sure they're glad to keep him. Yeah. I don't like the wage he's on, but that's neither here nor there. It's not our money. So what are your thoughts?
Well, as I said, I think he's had a good year. I do agree with you in the sense that he can be a bit lazy and his head can go down when things get a bit tough. But look, there's no doubt that he's starting to play a lot better now. He's obviously becoming more mature, and I think the most important thing is that Arsenal actually kept a player out of all this, because they've turned into a selling club rather than a buying club, which isn't what you want from a team that's supposed to be having title aspirations. But just a word on Arsenal. I think just look out for them now. I'm pretty sure they've paid off all their stadium now, which is where a lot of their money was going. So look for them to start. Arsene Wenger said midweek and stuff that he might, you never know with Arsene, but I'd expect them to be a bit more brutal in the market and really start throwing the checkbook around, which is what they need to do.
What do you think? It's obviously the well-publicised youth policy. Do you think it's absolutely done now, and Arsene's not outstayed his welcome by any stretch, but do you think it's time for him to really push for that top 1-2 spot, and for Arsenal to become that challenger.
Got to. They are falling rapidly behind the two Manchester clubs, and well, as the table shows at the minute, they're starting to drop a bit below Chelsea as well. But I mean, focusing on the two Manchester clubs who are at the top, they are well off the pace. I mean, as we saw last week, I know they had 10 men for a lot of it, but so you can't really compare. But they were battered by City last week, and Mertesacker has come out midweek saying they were scared, leading into that game. So that's not what you want to hear, and not what the Arsenal fans would want to hear. But
no.
But look, they deserve to be up there, and I'd love to see it a 3-4 horse race in the league again. So let's hope. But we'll swing on to some rumours now, Joey. I've got three.
I'm sure you got more.
Well, I got more.
I can give you 100.
Yeah, I got more, but three good ones I picked out. I'll start with Chelsea. As we said last week, Lampard and Ashley Cole were rumoured to be sought after by rival clubs.
World's greatest douchebag.
Which one?
Ashley Cole.
Yes, I agree. But we moved to Ashley Cole actually,
yes.
And it's rumoured that Chelsea are going to offer him a 1-year deal to stay at the club next year, and that will be between £8 and £10 million for 1 year. Your thought?
My thoughts.
For mine, it's a horrendously misuse of money.
Well, of course it is, but it's not our money. I've probably said that twice there, but if he got it, why not? Abramovich is, But I think the more interesting question is, what the question that poses is, where do you see Ashley Cole in English football, and do you think he's the best player in his position?
Well, no. I think he's so lucky to still be, the number one choice for the England left back spot. I think Leighton Baines from Everton is miles ahead of him.
Yep,
not even competition for it. But this is what happens with the England side, and it's, for mine, why they've struggled at major tournaments, in the fact that they get these names and they just stamp it straight away, and they just refuse to move. Like, credit to Roy Hodgson for finally getting Rio Ferdinand out of there.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you just can't hold on to the... John Terry should be the next to go.
Yep.
There's so many young, promising centre-backs in the Premier League.
Couldn't agree more.
That's for another day, but... Clear. Ashley Cole's into his 30s now, and he's getting on.
His best days are behind him,
Exactly.
And that's not a bad thing. It happens.
Yeah, I mean, Leighton Baines, his form over the last couple of years has been outstanding.
Well,
and he has got games for England. We'll point that out. But he should be stamped as left back.
So, just back to Ashley Cole and Chelsea.
Yeah.
You obviously you think then that they could have used that money to get a better player than Ashley Cole. So
definitely. Or put it towards another player, yeah.
So,
I know they'd lose Ashley for free, which is not good after all the service he's given. But
that's the next point. How much does loyalty and what Ashley Cole's given Chelsea over his career, which has been a hell of a lot, he's had a great career and no one can really knock him on it.
Yeah.
How much is that worth, do you think? Is that worth that much money? I guess that's a question to the fans.
No, not for mine. It's not worth that much. But look, that's Chelsea. A lot sides with money like to spend it, don't they? They just don't hang on to it. So, look, that's their issues. But for us, I think we've worked out that, it shouldn't be happening.
Oh, yeah. I mean, look, sentimentality in sport is really important to me as a fan and as someone who loves sport. But yeah, Chelsea bashing is really easy because they haven't got a lot of money.
Oh, of course.
But I'd really like to hear from you fans at home. Ashley Cole, is he worth that much money? And if Chelsea were to lose him on a Bosman for free, and he ended up at another English Premier League club, which I think he could still. Yeah. How much would it hurt? And would it be better to get some international guy over and better in that position? We'd love to hear from you.
Yeah, and remember you can do that through Twitter at BST Weekly, Facebook, facebook.com/BST Weekly, or on email BST Weekly at gmail.com. But just a final one on Ashley Cole there. It happens. It's a business now. You have something and then it goes. It's just the way of life. It's the way things go these days. For mine, cut him, bring someone new in. But look, I'm not the president of Chelsea, am I?
No, and just on a personal note, Cheryl Cole is probably one of the most lovely ladies going around, and what he did to her, that was just unbelievable. So I hate that he's getting that much money. But anyway,
that's Joey's fun fact for the day. But 2 more rumours to sweep through quickly, Joey, because we're touching a lot on deals, but it is January, so we have to. But Frank Lampard, of course, again with Chelsea, we said last week that Chelsea weren't going to offer him a new deal. He's scored again overnight, albeit from the spot, but I mean, he's still scored and played a decent game. The talk is now that he's favouring a move to the LA Galaxy. And AC Milan are also sniffing around as well. But at this stage, it's looking more and more like he'll end up at the Galaxy in the summer.
Yeah, look, we just literally talked about how much sentimentality plays a part in keeping guys, and
yeah,
I'd be giving Lampard deserves that money more than Cole does.
Oh, for sure, absolutely. Yeah. He is the face of Chelsea for mine. Forget John Terry. John Terry, I cannot believe he's still idolised as much as he is for all the stuff that has happened in his private life. But
well, he might be the face, but Lampard's the heart and soul.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, throw the money at Lampard, please, Abramovich, and he deserves to go somewhere a bit better than LA Galaxy for mine. I know he's getting on, but he's still playing some good football.
It's almost a wonder team. I know Beckham's probably left there now, but they got Keane and Landon Donovan they've held on to. So gee whiz, they should be tearing it up in America.
Exactly. And just the final one, Joey. Not so much a favourite of mine, but I know you like to watch him. Mario Balotelli. Superstar or a complete waste of talent. Everyone's got their own opinion of him. But the rumour is that City are done. They finally want to wipe their hands clean of Mario. And a 24 million deal with AC Milan looks the most likely, although there is talk that City are asking for 31 million, which AC have asked them to bring it down. But do you see him leaving in January, and AC, would it be a good fit?
Under any normal circumstances, I'd say yes, 100%. He wants to go back to Italy. City want to get rid of him. Yes. Except, after the Tevez debacle, over the last 2 years, where he wanted to go home, and I think Hercules was the team, wasn't it? That he 30 million or someone like that.
Oh, Corinthians.
Corinthians. But they should have got rid of him as well at the time, and with his petulant sort of behaviour. I know Balotelli's a bit of a head case off the field, but I wouldn't be surprised if they hold on to him, and over time, things are sorted out, and maybe he can get his head right.
Yeah. Well, I personally, I can't see it. I'm not saying he won't stay. He is this, as you said, a head case. He has got all the talent in the world, and just his attitude and demeanour on the field is just pathetic. I think that's all you can say. It's terrible.
Well, obviously, I'm not a City fan myself. I love the game, so I love watching every team. That's not saying I hate City, but they're the type of guys that I love watching. The ones who are real characters and that type of thing. And I love watching him in the Premier League. But if you were a City fan, it would drive you nuts.
Yeah.
You would hate to see that guy out on the field for you. Fans of a team, of a sport, would give their left arm to just have one game for the club that they love, and see him carrying on like such a
kid.
Yeah. It's a disgrace.
Well, I can't agree more. You just can't trust him.
No,
you can't. He gets red cards, like they're going out of fashion, and what else can you say? We'll watch that one with interest, but I'm sure City wouldn't be overly disappointed if they did get rid of him. But
I think they're probably trying to. Yeah,
but they're just on City as well. News overnight just finally on the rumours and whatnot that they were thinking of offering Tevez, who we just spoke about, a new deal. And the talk at the moment is that he's going to let it run down and then he's just going to go back to Argentina when it finishes. But for mine, I'm happy that he's back playing some good stuff because he's always good to watch. And if Balotelli had any of the energy and drive that Tevez does in his performances, well, Balotelli could be up there with
Pele.
Yeah, wow, he's got so much talent, as we said. So that City one there with Balotelli and Tevez is also interesting to watch as well. But with that, Joe, we'll swing on to the results. Of course, there was a midweek game as well, so we'll add that. But we'll just get the results up here. Yeah, so Joey, the results are up here. Just as you can see, just quickly, wins for Liverpool, Man City, Swansea, Reading, Sunderland and Chelsea overnight as well. And then interesting ties where we had draws between Chelsea, West Ham and QPR, and one down the bottom there, Tottenham, Man United, which we'll touch on now.
Yeah, the 1-1 draw. United there, obviously they're looking to extend or keep their significant lead they had over everyone else, but in particular City. But Tottenham at home, do you think they'd be happy with a draw?
Well, it's better than a loss. And I mean, at least they picked up a point. I mean, the lead's over Man City now is down to 5, which we'll see in the table in a second. But I think Sir Alex will just see it as a point. Tottenham did get a late leveller there with Clint Dempsey scoring, but it's still a point. It's better than a loss.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, at least 1 point. And as we'll see in a second, their position on the table is not too bad. So do you want to have a look at that now?
Not just now. We'll just quickly touch on a couple of other results that came up. Liverpool, we said watch out for them, and they're starting to really come along.
Yeah, saw a lot of that game. The addition of Sturridge has really helped them, and I think it's all coming together under Brendan Rodgers. He wants to play a certain way, obviously,
yeah.
And they tore Norwich to shreds.
Mm-hmm.
So,
their form's a bit worrying as well, by the way.
Well, it is, but I think it's to be expected. Come in with a bang, obviously. Norwich have been pretty entertaining to watch, but yeah, never good to lose 5-0. Where do you see the Canaries finishing the year?
Bottom 5.
Yep.
Yeah, bottom 5.
Relegation battle?
No, I think they'll stay up for mine. I still feel that Villa, Reading and Wigan will go down, but yeah, I think it won't be easy, put it that way. And just before we move on to the table, Joey, Chelsea of course played the 2 games this game week. They beat Arsenal overnight, which is another loss by Arsenal in a big game against a top 4 side. But before that, they've gone 2-0 up against Southampton and they've thrown that away and dropped points. And the crowd, understandably, was furious.
Well, where do you see the whole manager situation sorted out there? I mean, it's not just Chelsea bashing, but they just go through managers so quickly, and I think they really need some sustained period of under a regime and to get themselves right like that.
Yeah.
Do you see the big fella being the man?
Well, we talk about this issue with Chelsea every week, and ever since we've started the show, they've really haven't put many good performances together. But look, I think Rafa's just interim thing. Of course, he was my first winner of Blackest in episode 1. But look, no, I don't reckon he'll be there after this summer. They'll reassess and go for someone else. So that's just my opinion. Yours?
Yeah, I think it will too, but I don't think it's the right thing to do. We could talk about them all day, their issues, but I think we'll move on and have a look at some of the other results.
Yeah, exactly, and just the Swansea win finally was big for me as well. They've been fantastic, and we praised them last week as well, Michu and co. But once again, they've done it.
Well, it's good to see, especially obviously a team outside of England. Really competing and doing so well. And just a little bit of a tangent, with that, it just puts to shame. You see clubs like Rangers and what's going on over there at the minute is an absolute disgrace. So, yeah, good to see a team outside of England doing so well in the Premier League.
Yeah.
And I'm happy for them.
Oh, so am I, and I think they'll just keep getting better as well. But from the results, Joe, we'll just see how that impacted on the table now.
Yeah, we start at the top, and United's lead has been cut to 5.
Yeah, well, I mean, City are closing the gap, and I expect that to be and get a bit closer as well. No real other movement of note, other than the fact that Liverpool they're in the same position, but they're closing on Spurs and Everton there, which is going to be good to watch as well. And West Brom and Swansea holding their positions at the bottom there.
Yeah, Swansea really, we touched them a second ago and they're doing really well. And West Brom sliding a bit, but I'm sure they're happy where they are at the moment.
Yeah, so moving on to the bottom half now, Joey, and we'll go straight to the bottom because that's the only real thing we care about in the bottom half. But look at this logjam now. QPR are closing the gap there, as you can see, but it's the next bit. Wigan, Reading, Aston Villa, Newcastle and Southampton, all separated by just 3 points.
What a logjam, and gee, those with the matches between each other become so important, real 6-point games, and Newcastle at the moment haven't been faring too well in them.
No, not at all. They're one to keep an eye on, as well as Fulham as well. They are slowly slipping down.
Yeah, it'll be really interesting to see how they finish off what has been somewhat of a lackluster campaign this year.
They've been pretty established now in the Premier League, and I mean, there's no way they'll go down for mine. They've got so many good players, Berbatov amongst them. But look, they're not getting results at the minute, and if that continues, I mean, Martin Yole's going to come under pressure, and pressure brings issues, performance issues. And speaking of issues, Joey, I believe you've got some.
Yeah, look, we've got a few questions and comments from the fans now that we're going to bring up, which is really good. We love that. So the first one's been sent in from John from Druin. He's a Stoke fan, and he's just a bit worried. He's becoming a bit sort of disenfranchised, to paraphrase. Mid-table obscurity for some of these teams. How do you think it holds? What do you think the issues are regarding that for teams in the short and long term?
Well, I mean, in the short term, for clubs, it's good in a sense that if they've just come up from the championship, whatever, it's really good and it's needed. Mid-table finishes are needed for them to get a foothold within the league, so they can build upon that for the future and stick around for long periods. But in the long term, I think it depends on the situation and the situation of the club, especially. Because look, to me, sides like Stoke, who you said John followed, correct?
Yes, yeah, Stoke fan.
To John, I think he'd even agree with me deep down in the sense that they're not going to be a club that's striving for top 4 like ever, unless they get taken over, which is possible.
Yeah,
but
it's possible.
Look, I think with Stoke's list and the way their money for spending, is at, I can't see them going any higher. So I think he'd just be satisfied with Premier League football and good results in that sense.
Yeah, even if your team is obviously John, if your team Stoke are stuck in mid-table obscurity, be happy that you can watch them and that they are playing in the Premiership, and you get to see them play against teams like your great sides like your Manchester United, your Man Cities, and Chelsea and whatnot. And yeah, just take comfort in the fact that you guys are up amongst the top 10 or so teams in the league, and be happy with that.
Yeah, well, exactly, and take comfort in the fact that you're not going to be in a relegation scrap. I mean, they've come in and now they've established themselves through these mid-table finishes as a side that's not going to be drawn into these relegation battles. So, I mean, kudos to them. And look, as you said, I think John should be happy with it.
So do I. And the next one is from Michael in Brunswick. He is a Sunderland fan. And he points out that Stephen Fletcher's scored 10 goals on the year so far. His question, well, more of a statement. But is Stephen Fletcher elite? Michael thinks so.
Well, I mean, a striker at the end of the day is only, judged on how many goals he scores. And I mean, Stephen Fletcher's a goal scorer. Does he have the polish of a Robin van Persie, Suarez, all those kind of guys? Well, no. But it doesn't mean he can't score a good goal. And he did score a couple of crackers over the weekend, actually. So, look, I wouldn't call him elite. I'd call solid.
Semi-elite?
Semi-elite, yeah, definitely, but extremely solid, and he'll score. He's one of those players that's going to score goals wherever he goes.
Yeah,
I think it's the same as Ricky Lambert from Southampton. I mean, he's not elite, but he scores goals. You know, he's just that solid player that your Sunderland type of sides needs to do well.
Yeah, I agree. Stephen Fletcher's a really, really good player. I quite like him, and yeah, I'm with you. I wouldn't call him elite, but certainly right up there.
Yeah, definitely.
And the last one we'll get onto here is from Brunswick, Australia, Melbourne, to over to the UK, Tim.
Well, this is a big step for us.
It is.
Yeah.
First international fan sending in a question. So thanks very much, Michelle from Essex County in the UK. She's somewhat oddly an Everton fan.
Yeah. Don't see many, especially here in Australia.
No,
even though Tim Cahill, of course, played for Everton, but
and as well, I'm not that great at my geography, but Essex County, I'm not 100% sure that Everton's.
I don't think it is.
No. So anyway, she is an Everton fan, and one of her favourite players, Jelavic. She seems to be very frustrated and thinks he gets caught offside too often, and is it a problem? And can it be, sort of
eradicated?
Yeah, exactly. Mentored out of his game. Well,
I mean, you got a couple of type of strikers. You got the poachers like the Chicaritos, Van Nistelrooy back in the day. Those kind of guys that bag your goals within the 6-yard box and feed on the scraps. Then you've got the big bulky strikers who are going to win your balls in the air, like a Grant Holt.
Big Hesk.
The Big Hesk, who's now favourite here in Australia.
Absolutely.
The Big Hesk, Grant Holt, those type of guys. And then you've got the strikers that are going to play on the last man. And sometimes you get strikers which intertwine all those three to become a package. But for mine, I don't think it is a problem. Yeah, you're going to get caught offside and it breaks up rhythm and that sort of thing. But for every 2 times you're going to get caught offside, you'll get away with it for one. And it's in that sense where you'll get in behind the defence and then you'll see a goal scoring opportunity. And I know Craig Bellamy, when he was in the Premier League for City, West Ham, Liverpool, you name it, regularly was caught offside. And Darren Bent, when he was playing for Aston Villa as well, gets caught offside. But
yeah, well,
it's just all part of using their pace. And I mean, some will argue that they don't need to because they're quick enough. But look, I don't have any problem with it.
Yeah, well, speaking of Darren Benton not playing, his replacement, I suppose, at Villa, he's at second on the list of offside. Jelavic is actually first on the most offsides list.
Yeah, how many is that number?
38 for Jelavic on the year, and Benteke's on 31. But they're amongst good company. Van Persie is next on 25. And Torres is after that on 24. So there is a bit of a difference. Jelavic on 38, and he's a fair way ahead of the field. But yeah, as you said, probably not that much of a problem.
Well, I don't think Michel's got a lot to worry about, to be honest, because he still scores goals, and Everton are, they're 5th, from memory?
Yeah.
City in 5th, so really it's not being very detrimental to them at all, to be honest. So, Michel, don't worry. I'm sure we'll continue to frustrate you, but he will reward you with goals as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So is that all from the issues?
That's from our viewers. A few from our viewers there, and So
well, we're going to look into that, guys, and pick out the 3 best every week, and something we think we can have a discussion over anyway. So moving from our issues, Joey, and this is a one-off segment. Well, potentially not one-off because it could happen to us a lot, and it's called the special mention segment, Joey, because last week, of course, Jonathan Walters was my tool of the week, as you well remember.
Absolutely.
For his 2 own goals and missed penalty against Chelsea.
Disgraceful.
Now, if you missed last week's episode, unfortunately, you've missed out on that footage, but it would be on the net somewhere. But look, we gave him a hard time, but we said he'd bounce back, didn't we?
We did.
And he has. Did you happen to hear about his work in the FA Cup third round replays?
Tell me about it, Tim.
John Wall, it's poised 1-1 with Crystal Palace heading into extra time. Johnny Walters has scored a brace in extra time, and for that, everything of last week is forgotten. Do you agree?
Yeah, absolutely.
So, look, he's helped them through, and well, good on Johnny, because I like him, as I've said before. He really gives it his all, and he deserves what he gets.
He's a big, lovable goofball, and happy for him to score a brace there in extra time and get his team away to, a pretty good result.
Yeah, well, they get a trip to Man City in the they welcome Man City in the 4th round of the FA Cup, which is coming up soon. So hopefully Johnny can play well there as well. But look, so that segment might not be in every show, but I'm sure we'll pot people through the year, and they'll come back and they'll deserve a special mention. So that's been my special mention.
Newcastle could be a chance.
Well,
at some point.
they are next on the list, surely, as long as they start playing better. But that is a perfect segue from Jonathan Walters, the Tool of the Week last week. It brings me to this week's Tool of the Week.
Are you kidding me? Welcome to the blooper reel, you big baby.
This week, the unlucky award goes to Cameron Jerome. So here we go. Ball comes swinging in. Where's Cameron? There he is, and over it goes.
What?
Not his finest moment. A man that hasn't scored many goals in the Prem. Now, you may think that's offside there, but it's actually not. It's come off the Swansea defender, which is why it's still live, and over she goes.
How is that even physically possible?
Yeah. Well, again, people and players, I should say, it is almost like they're trying to get on this segment, Joe. And we said this last week and the week before with James Collins, but Cameron Jerome, is he having a laugh?
Well, it's like a pantomime. I have no idea what that is. It's abhorrent.
It's a horrendous miss, and luckily it wouldn't have affected Stokes' result. They still would have lost the game, but oh dear.
Yucky.
That
yucky,
is
yucky.
Tim's Toolbox for this week. And Cameron Jerome, you have joined the Toolbox Wall of Fame, and well, congratulations. That's all you can really say, isn't it?
Absolutely. Yeah, yuck. Yeah. All right, well, from that disgrace, we'll move on to something that the fans were really active in their voiceover, and they sent in a lot of options for us to choose from here. So we thank you guys for that. This week's goal of the week. So
a new segment.
A new segment, but it's the fans have demanded it. They've wanted to see goal of the week, and seriously, so much footage sent in from you guys. I don't know where you find it from, so well done on that. But so let's have a look at this week's goal of the week. Let's roll the tape.
And it goes to Christian Benteke this week. Here we go. Just gets the ball there. Now, you'll be able to see the turn later, but what a hit there. An outstanding finish. Look at his turn here. Fakes and turns and finish. That is, Joey, absolutely exceptional.
Oh, Christian Benteke. Wowee. Can play the kid.
Quality strike, Joey. And let's just hope the goals keep coming like that, because goal of the week will be a very hard segment to pick a winner, because I believe you had a few.
There's another couple special honourable mentions here to Steven Gerrard's absolute firecracker against Norwich on the weekend. Lovely strike, and also punch-ins against Chelsea, which is a really, really good goal as well. So
which equalised the game as well.
Really important one to score as well. So keep sending them in. We love it, and look forward to it next week.
Yep, of course.
Yes.
Now,
moving on to one of the...
Yes.
Now, the fans, we talk about having mail-ins, people sending things in, that sort of thing, which has been great, the amount of stuff that's been sent in, but probably 70%, maybe 75% of the stuff that's been sent in has been about this next segment. The fans love it, Tim. They look forward to it every week. They set their alarm. They wake up thinking about it. They go to bed thinking about it the night before.
Yeah.
Tell us, what is it?
Don't make me laugh, because today I am. Now, I know it's time for Blackers Bake. Now, Joey, the last two, you've accused me of not getting angry enough.
That's been an accusation that's been had by a few fans.
Okay.
Yeah, they've been a bit worried that you're a bit soft.
Well, today I'm not soft.
No.
Something has happened during this week that has absolutely burnt me to the core. I am so angry and I'm sick of seeing it, Joey. Would you like me to get what I've picked out of the oven?
Yeah,
because it's ready.
But you've scared me a tad.
Well, good, and I hope I've scared all you at home.
You don't scare the kids.
No, well, Joey, this has to
Don't be
stop.
scared, kids. He's nice.
This has to stop. Now, I'm going to put my pad down, my notepad, pens down. My trusty oven mitts have come out, Joey.
Very clean.
Very clean, because we only do this once a week. But, no, Joey, seriously, on a serious note.
Yes, sorry.
This is an absolute disgrace, and I'll just get it out of the oven. Just let me get it here. It's an awkward one.
I'm worried about this one. You seem very up and about here.
And it's not a player. It's not a player.
Okay.
No.
Tell us who it is.
It is a club.
A club.
Not so much the players at the club, but the leaders of this club. Now, I'm going to put it up here first without showing Joey. Now, it goes to, yes, you saw it, Joey, Southampton Football Club. Southampton Football Club. I'll tell you why. You want to know why? Let me put it down.
I do. Tell me why.
Southampton, as you well know, during the week, have sacked their manager, Nigel Atkins. Now, what an absolute disgrace. Now, this club, you know, as I said, I've been waiting for this all show. It isn't... I can't say it enough how poor this is. Now, remember, Southampton, runner-up in the championship last year, they've got promotion. The year before that, they've been promoted from League One under Nigel Atkins, okay? They've lost one in their last 7 games, okay? This includes relegation battle wins against Aston Villa and Reading. And they've also had draws at home against Arsenal and away to Chelsea, after being 2-0 down against Chelsea as well. In what sense do Southampton have... How do they have the nerve to get rid of Nigel Atkins after that? It is an absolute disgrace. He has done nothing wrong, and their performances are slowly getting better, and I'm just too angry. They've brought in Mauricio Pochettino, or he used to play for Espanyol, and he managed there as well, but that doesn't matter. He's a nobody at this point. Nigel Atkins is the unluckiest man in English football.
Extremely strong words.
I'm very serious about this.
Well, I tend to agree with you, firstly, so don't get me wrong.
No.
But, I mean, what's to say that the powers that be at Southampton didn't have a long-term plan where they said Nigel Atkins can come in and do a job to get us promoted from League One to the Championship, and then once we're established in the Premiership, we're not absolutely going to get relegated at this point, and bring in someone of a higher calibre who can take them to the next level.
But is he a higher calibre Joe? I don't know. Like, my problem is they're really starting to play some good football. You know, they're really being competitive, which is, as I highlighted with the Arsenal and Chelsea results there. At the start of the year, they were getting belted by those sort of sides. Now, they've come on, the players aren't happy, which is the main thing. You want your players happy. They're not happy that Atkins has been relieved of his duty. And look, does this mean, for me, it means the results are, you know, they always say that results get better under a new manager because people try and prove themselves. But I see it going the other way, and I'm really worried for them now.
Yeah, it's bulldust. I just made the counter argument there. I do agree with you.
Someone's got to make a counter argument.
Yeah, craziness, stupidity, and yeah, really. I think that they're going to get worse as well. I can't see, and this is a sort of a side point as well, you can't just change coaches willy-nilly. It doesn't work like that. It's like you can't keep bringing in new regime, new structures. People are always learning, continually learning, never achieving anything. So you need some stability, and you need something you believe in and something you can work towards, which isn't what's going on at the moment.
Well, you can change your manager if the results are poor.
Of course,
or you've lost your players. But the fact is he hasn't. And you know that as well as I do, Joey, that, as I said, they're starting to play better. The players absolutely love him. And they get rid of him. Look, it's one for me that I won't understand. You know.
And that's why he's deserved blackest bake.
Blackest bake goes to Southampton, or the leaders of the circus that is Southampton at the minute. Because, look, Joey, this is going to sound extremely harsh, and it's this segment where I am harsh, and the fans have called for me to be harsher, but I like Southampton. I thought they were really good in how they went about it. But frankly, I hope they get relegated now.
Well,
I do.
Look.
No, I do, because it would serve them right, and it would make... I would be the happiest person in the world if Southampton go down now. No sour grapes.
Look, the fans have called you to be a bit more, aggressive, I guess, and you've...
Well, I've gone too far?
This is Texas Chainsaw Massacre type stuff. I think we'll just...
Well, we'll put a hold to it there, but the bakes are going to be of that standard from here on in.
Well, we hope you enjoyed that one. Bit riled up.
Well, we'll just bring it down now, Joey, because... Just a few deep breaths.
Namaste.
Now we're spiralling out of control here after that. But, Joey, we are done. We are done. We've capped another episode. That's 3 episodes down now. But
done like Nigel.
Yeah, well, done like Nigel. Yeah, that is exactly right. But look, a good week again to look forward to in the Premier League. There's always good games in the Premier League. It's why it's our favourite league and your favourite league if you're watching. But look, Joey, what can the fans expect next week? Just more of the same from us, that is?
More of the same, but better. We continually improve, hopefully.
That's what we look for. We try and improve every week.
That's right, and with the help of you guys out there. So, yeah, again, we have plugged it before and we'll plug it again, but we are the people's show. We strive to be the people's show, and that means you need to get involved as well. So, yeah, obviously we've mentioned our Facebook and Twitter and Hotmail.
Gmail, Joey, don't throw them off the trail.
Excuse me.
Because we're trying to recruit here at BST Weekly, but just the Gmail guys there, but we've already been over all of that. So, look, from me, myself, Tim Blacker, and Joey Kane here, it's goodbye to us. Enjoy your sport this week. Enjoy your Premier League. And Joey...
Don't forget, BST Weekly.